Welcome back to another Wednesday on the Pagan Perspective. I'm your Wednesday host, Yeka, and this week we are talking about orthodoxy and orthopraxy within our practices. So our topic comes from Caleb, who is a very active, awesome community member here, and they write, let me go ahead and read the question. What do you think about the differences between orthodoxy and orthopraxy? Which do you feel most closely fits your personal path? So to start with, what do those words even mean? So I had heard the word orthodox before. I was not familiar with orthopraxis or orthopraxy. And so I went ahead and looked that up. And basically the difference is ortho is the Greek, it's a prefix that means straight, correct, the right way. So orthodoxy is correct belief, orthopraxy is correct practice or correct behavior. So in terms of how I feel that most closely fits my path, or what do I think about that and my path, the element of the ortho is the part that I don't really use, because I of course have beliefs, and my beliefs, sort of those core beliefs, are I am part of nature. Humans aren't separate. We are ourselves part of nature. And that ultimately I am responsible for finding meaning and deciding for myself what appropriate and right behavior is within all of that. So I don't follow a specific tradition that has right and wrong, or dates that must be followed, or meanings that this particular herb means this, or things like that. I very much practice the way I cook. And there's different kinds of cooks, right? I'm an improv cook, so when I go into the kitchen, I look at the ingredients I have and I kind of just start combining them. I smell the spice and I go, oh, I'll try a little bit of this, I'll try a little bit of that. And I am terrible at following recipes for cooking. Even when I have a recipe, I end up swapping things out and going, ooh, well, I think that would probably taste a lot better if I used butter instead of olive oil, right? Or whatever. It's not that I can't follow recipes. I can bake. I did very well in the Chem lab. When I'm in the field and I am gathering data, I make sure that I am gathering it the exact same way every time, so that those results, what I get, can be meaningful. But when it comes to the practice, for me, the practice is about my experience. How does it feel to be me in relation to the spring, in relation to the soil, tuning in with the cycles that are going on around me that I'm actually part of. And so I'll just sort of go with the flow. And sometimes I do use forms. For instance, some ritual form. Very early on, I was taught how to cast a circle and call directions and that sort of thing. So sometimes I will use that if I'm doing some sort of formal ritual, which isn't a big part of my practice, but if I do. But the moment it stops working for me, I throw it out and just go with the flow of whatever works for me. And so that takes time to become comfortable with oneself and confidence in oneself to be able to do that. And having the form can be a wonderful place to start with. And for some people it works great. In my practice, not so important, right? I will honor the solstice close to, but I'm not looking at my watch going, when does it actually happen? When's the actual moment, the date that happens? So I think that addresses both parts of the question in terms of the differences between orthodoxy and orthopraxy, and which more closely fits my personal path, which is that in the sense of ortho, neither really. But if it's simply the question of, am I more focused on the belief or more focused on the practice? Certainly more so the practice, but the practice is informed and facilitated by the belief. So as always, thank you so much for being here. If you have any comments you want to share, let us know. What is it like for you in your practice? Is one more important than the other? Or is it a balance? And had you come across these terms before? Because the orthopraxy was new to me. I was just familiar with the Orthodox as in Orthodox Jew or the Orthodox Church or that sort of thing. Let us know, and until next week, take care.